Hey guys, today we are making peanut butter cookies in our Ninja Foodi, all while having a whole lot of fun. That was really good. Hey guys, welcome back to my camper kitchen. I am Cris from recipes@crock.com, and today we are making peanut butter cookies in the Ninja Foodi using our air crisp feature. You can follow this recipe along at home by using a Ninja Foodi or using another air fryer, or you can use the same temps in your oven if you want to follow this recipe. We are making these cookies low carb style, so hang on guys, because this is going to be super duper delicious. I am really excited with the holidays coming up. I've been wanting to do a cookie in the air fryer for those of you who are traveling and or don't want to heat up the oven, and or maybe are in college, in an apartment or something like that, and you don't have access to an oven. Or we hear all the time someone's oven's out but they have something like an air fryer or a Ninja Foodi. So we like to give you different ways of doing things. And on top of that, we're going to show you how we're making these peanut butter cookies low carb. What I did to create this recipe is I just converted one of our tried and true peanut butter cookie recipes we used to use. I just started playing around with some low carb ingredients and came up with a low carb version. So what we're using, handful of simple ingredients. We're going to be using a cup of natural peanut butter. This is the stuff that you generally would have to stir. This one's called 100% peanuts. That's the one we're using today. I believe Smucker's has a version too that's just peanuts and salt. You can just look on the label. If it'll tell you what the ingredients are, and you're just looking for something that just says peanuts and or salt. You don't want any sugar in it if you're trying to avoid sugar, so that's what we're going with here. Then we need a 1-to-1 sugar substitute, and for that we are using Sucrin 1, and you can get this in our Amazon influencer shop and or other places online. Another similar sugar substitute that tastes very similar to this is Swerve, which also sometimes you can find that in the grocery store. So this is, and I can never say it right, erythritol. I don't know. Mikey can usually say it. He's not here, so heaven help me. Anyhow, this one is mainly that, and then it has less than 2% of stevia in it. And so this is the kind of sweetener that tastes a lot like sugar. It just has a little bit of a cooling effect at the end. And we're going to offset that with some stevia drops. You can get this also usually in the grocery store or in our Amazon shop. That's just another kind of, this is a stevia, a sweetener that helps kind of offset some of that cooling that we got going on there. And we need an egg, and that's it. So I gotta grab an egg out of my fridge. Give me a sec. It might take me more than a sec because I forgot. Here we go. Alright. So we're gonna put an egg in a mixing bowl. I have my spatula down in this mixing bowl because I was using it to dig out the peanut butter out of my peanut butter jar. So don't mind that. Sorry, my phone is making noises. Okay, so we're going to take that egg and we are going to just beat it a little bit with a fork to break it up. Just get it broken up down in there. Okay, and to that I'm going to take my stevia drops and I am going to add a teaspoon of them. This is the English toffee flavor. You can also get it, you can get it in all kinds of different flavors. This is just what I have in the trailer. A lot of times I'll use the vanilla cream in substitute for vanilla whenever I'm trying to offset the sweetener. So I'm just going to put a teaspoon of that in here. Alright, and to that I'm going to add a cup of my sucrin, my sugar substitute. So I've got half cup there, and I'm going to pour another half cup very carefully. I'm going to mix that together until it starts to get mixed together. Okay, and then I'm adding a cup of my natural peanut butter. Natural peanut butter is a little bit more runny than your traditional peanut butter. I just want to get it all out of the scoop here, so I can mix it together. Maybe didn't do such a good job of that. And then you're going to just mix those ingredients together until a dough starts to form. And I'm going to bring this up to you guys once I get the dough to form so you can see what I'm talking about. At the beginning, it kind of looks like, oh, is the dough going to form? And then all of a sudden it starts to come together, and you'll see what I mean. So there you go. That's a dough. So we can take this and form it into a ball. And that's what we're going to do. I'm going to clean this off just a little bit so that I have some room to work. I'm also going to talk about what we're going to put in the air fryer really quickly so that I can clear my table just even a little bit more. And so, okay, you can do your air fryer a couple different ways. If you have a traditional air fryer, you can just use your air fryer basket. It typically will do okay. If you have a Ninja Foodi, you can use the Ninja Foodi basket, and it will do okay. You're just going to have to watch it and make sure you don't overcook it as you do your batches of cookies like you would in the oven. The way I like to do it in my Ninja Foodi is using a low profile trivet. See, it goes all the way down in there. And then Ninja also sells, I believe this is their pizza pan that has holes in it. And I don't think I've seen these on Amazon. If I do, if I can find them, I'll link them in our Amazon influencer shop. But I don't think I've seen them. But you could use something similar and put it down in there. I just like how they turn out better on this. And I've made it both ways. It works both ways. It's just since I have that pan, I like using it. One tip, regardless of what you use, is to make your peanut butter cookies into balls ahead of time and to put them out on a cutting board or a silicone mat and do the crisscross shape on top of your cookie, which we'll show you here in a second. But do it before you put it in on something that has a hole in it, because otherwise you're going to be pressing part of your cookie through that. And I noticed that is especially so when you use this basket, because it presses it down into the crevices, and then it makes it a little hard to get them in and out. So what we're going to do is, this is going to make 2 dozen cookies, so 24 cookies. So what I like to do is divide my dough into fourths and make 6 balls out of each fourth. Just ahead of time so that I can have a uniform size cookie. So that's the way I typically try to do it. And we can go ahead and roll them all out here. And I'm going to fast forward while I do that and then we'll talk about the crisscrossing here in a minute. So Mikey's going to fast forward as I make all of these peanut butter cookie balls. Okay, here are my little peanut butter cookies, and then to do the crisscross shape, you just take your fork and you literally crisscross like that. Go down one way and down the other way, and if your fork sticks for some reason, I don't have that problem, you can always dip your fork in water in between the crisscross and it'll fix it. So I'm going to crisscross all of these, and then we're going to start baking in batches. So Mikey, fast forward me again. Okay, so now we're going to take our cookie sheet, or our pizza pan is what it is, and I'm just going to put 6 on here at a time. I just like to do 6 at a time so I don't have to worry about them baking into each other. You probably could get them to go just a little bit further than that, but I really don't have a problem letting them go in batches. So I'm just going to put 6 of my little cookies on here, like that. So I put one in the center and one on all the way around, give it nice room, and I'm going to put it down in here. Like I said earlier, if you don't have that pan, you could always place them down in this and put this down in like you would normally do any of the air fry. So what we're going to do is we're going to put this on air crisp for at 325, and this goes from 8 to 10 minutes. I'm going to set it for 9 because my Foodi is completely cold right now. By the end of my batches of cookies, I probably need to set it more towards 8 minutes, because once it's heated up, the cookies tend to cook a little bit faster. One more thing for you guys, if you are baking in the oven, it's the same thing. So 325 for 8 to 10 minutes. Alrighty? Well, we'll see you back here in 3, 2, 1. And we are back. My cookies have been cooking for almost 9 minutes in my Ninja Foodi on the air crisp feature. You could have done this also in a traditional air fryer as well. Got just a few more seconds, and we're going to peek in there and see how it looks. It's going to be really hot, so we're going to have to be really careful. 3, 2, 1, done. Okay. Oh, I somehow accidentally, oh, I know what I did. I hit my pan, I hit the table, and I slid my cookies together. So despite the fact that I spread them out like I showed you, let me show you why I wanted to spread them out to begin with, because I baked them in together. You see how that ended up happening? It's alright. They still they're not the kind of cookie to kind of really intrude on its neighbor all that much. They know good boundaries. But I'm going to go ahead and separate them out now so that they don't get stuck together. So, in an ideal world, you wouldn't do what I just did, because that's really hot in there, and the cookies do best when they cool for just a few minutes. But we don't have an ideal situation going on because I messed up and hit the thing. So, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and try and scoop a few of these off of here so that they can get away from each other. Yeah, they're alright. They're super, super soft right now, but when they cool for just a few minutes, maybe 5 minutes, they start to crisp up a little bit, and that makes them a lot easier to handle, and that's why I generally like for them to cool for a few minutes so they retain their shape and they don't fall apart on you, because they could very much fall apart really easily right now. I just don't really have an ideal situation going on here. Now, if any of your cookie crumbs have fallen down into the bottom of your Foodi, which none have ours, so we're okay. But if that has happened to you, you're going to want to remove that before going and doing the next batch, because those will overcook in the bottom, and then it kind of gives a smoky, burnt smell, even though the cookies themselves are fine. So I would just make sure that you get any of that excess off of there. I have a little extra on the bottom of my pan, it looks like. So I'm going to just wipe that down just to give myself a fresh start with my next little batch here. So let's go ahead and spread them out like I wanted them. And this time I'm not going to knock them around. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. Yeah, this is cool enough to touch now. I'm going to put it down in here and turn this back on. Hit air crisp. Take it down to 325. And I'm going to start baking them for 8 minutes. I can always add a minute if I need to. But while that's going on, I am going to bring these up here so we can do a little taste test. So they've sat here for just a minute and they're still a little flimsy, but they will completely harden up. Let me show you what happens. These are the ones, oh goodness. These are the ones I made last night. And they are like nice and crisp. So they can go like, let's see if we can, I'll do it like this. So they're nice crunchy peanut butter, not crunchy peanut butter, but nice kind of crisp with a crunch peanut butter cookie. Okay? Now, you can't resist warm cookies. It's starting to set up, but it definitely has an out of the oven taste to it, or a out of the oven texture. Nice and warm, a little crisp on the outside, but nice and soft and warm when they're hot like this. But what I would do, this is really good. Let these cool, and by the time that batch is done, these are going to be cool enough you can stack on top of each other and put the other batch, and just keep doing that until you get them all done. And then you just need to keep them in either a Ziploc bag or after they've cooled, or a sealed container for as long as they last. They'll probably last, like, well, around my people they're not gonna last that long, but they probably do all right for a week, I would say. If you want to keep them around that long, they definitely would freeze just fine if you wanted to make up a batch and put them in the freezer. So you could even do the cookie balls and maybe on wax paper and freeze them that way before you bake them, or you could go ahead and make them and freeze them and just let them thaw when you want to eat them. So either way. But if you like this video, we'd love for you to give us a thumbs up. If you're not already a member of the Crock Posse, we'd love for you to click subscribe down below and become a member of our slow cooker family. We also do Foodie Fridays around here. Lots of slow cooker, electric pressure cooker, and air fryer recipes around here. If you'd like notified every time we upload a video, click the ding-a-ling. That's the notification bell down below, and YouTube will let you know every time we upload a video. But whatever you do, we hope you laugh often, eat good food, and speak life. Bye, guys. I don't know if you can hear that or not, but Octavius is snoring really loudly and takes his watchdog duties seriously.
If you want to see the latest, click on the left right here. If you feel like subscribing, click on my dear. And if you think we're fine,